Help me! Help me.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
We made a very strong point of trying to stay true to the original film, which was a real jungle with real actors and a real guy in a suit. So we tried to stay true to that and be faithful to that.
What I really loved about the original movie was that it was a sort of a hybrid film. You had what started off as a traditional commando-type Arnold Schwarzenegger action film, where you fall in love with the characters and you're following them on this journey, and then it starts turning into a science fiction alien-type picture.
The first Predators was groundbreaking because nobody had ever seen like that whole like mythology of that animal in the first one was so fascinating. The fact that he could see infrared. So that's the neat thing about the first one that broke so much ground with people.
The visual effects have gotten better, more sophisticated because that's where technology's taken us. But at the end of the day, it's what is the story? Because that's really what people want to come and see.
This one we wanted to do sort of the same, go back to a character-based movie where the predators could easily just be the characters themselves. They could kill each other off before they got to ever meet one of the creatures. So we wanted to have that sort of tension within a group, uneasy alliances, and get it to a point where you almost forget that there's going to be creatures in the movie.
I'm here, kill me. Come on.
We had a few lines of dialogue and a few beats that we paid homage to the original film with. But at the same time, we did try to do something that was a standalone film. So though there are nods, we didn't want to, ride on his coattails or anything.
This planet is a game preserve. And we're the game.
Robert had written a draft, I believe, in the 90s, and based on that draft, Fox had approached two screenwriters to refresh it because all of the ideas, though very original and strong at the time, some of the ideas had been done since.
Mine really couldn't be done. It was more Avatar than Predator. I mean, there was a lot of creatures and there was a lot of things going on the planet. He wanted to take it just more about the hunt and more about the chase and more about the suspense of that. So it was a cooler direction. It was much more economical, not just financially, but really story-wise. It was more economical and cut to the bone and cut to the emotions more. So it was a good choice.
I was really in love with the concept, though, of the most dangerous game, of hunters being hunted. And I thought that was something that was very appealing. Well, this film is about predators, alien and human. I think that's what the beauty of this film is that the monster isn't who you think it is. And a lot of times we point fingers, but sometimes you just have to look in the mirror.
Quiet, we're rolling!
Gyula Pados, my director of photography, and Steve Joyner and Kayla, we all sat down and we tried to think of other films that had epic jungle scenes in it that really visually was stunning and complemented what the story was trying to achieve. Everything from The Sorcerer to, of course, the original Predators to Arachnophobia. I think there was a wide range of films that we looked at. We all agreed that these jungles can't be the beautiful, lush, jungles that you see in Lost, or you see. We definitely knew that the jungle had to complement the predator.
I've never seen this jungle, and I've seen most.
We ended up actually doing something a little backwards for the locations guys. We sent a Texan to Hawaii to find the locations because he knows what's here that can match. So we sent Logan out there to find things that could look otherworldly, but that then could be brought this way, and along with things we could build, make it happen.
Hawaii wasn't the first choice. We looked at quite a few jungles. We explored Puerto Rico and Mexico, China even. So there was a pretty broad net cast to find this perfect alien jungle. And we ended up in Hawaii because it has a great look. It doesn't have a specific feel to it. Like it's not, you don't see it and go, hey, we're in Hawaii.
Predators 2009. It's a tough day at the office, just kind of showing up and hanging out. They have us in Hawaii. It's tough. It's really tough, but somebody's got to do it.
We ended up using Hilo, Hawaii as our exotic location because it is one of the newest islands that's been formed. It's very rough in terrain. It has a unique vegetation even from the other Hawaiian islands because of its relative young geologic age. And the parts that we went into for the jungle and that locations found for us were very alien, very extreme, very difficult to work in.
From the very early things I've done, I was always very lucky to be surrounded by stuntmen who were extraordinary at what they did. Jeff Dashnaw were just incredible, and the things that they were capable of doing and doing them safely was impressive. It was really impressive.
I'm gonna do my own stunt. Check that out. That's the drop that they're doing today.
Oh my God! That's crazy.
The high fall into the water is something that I think Nimród was very happy with that sequence. And, you know, it was a little bit nerve-wracking for me because, as far as I know, just locals in Hawaii were the only ones that ever dove that. And, you know, you hear, oh, it's 50 feet deep, 30 feet deep. And we actually went out there and it was like 12 feet deep coming from 80 feet. So we had to do a little prep work there.
I get worried about jumping into a pool sometimes, let alone jumping off an 80-foot cliff, so it was pretty impressive. You know, the fact that they were able to do the things that they did was incredible, but the fact that they were able to stand up at the end of it, you know, and give me a hug, that meant a lot.
Extra goal in! Extra goal in!
This is just like what it was like almost every day on that 70 show. So there's nothing new to me.
That was so much fun. Oh my God. You know, when I read this, I thought, this isn't really gonna happen. It really happened. It's unbelievable, man. Very cool.
There were a few locations which we tried to match to Hawaii, which we actually found practically here in Texas. We also found a lot of locations that were very otherworldly, alien-looking, not far from Austin. So, Austin is weird.
So this is Hamilton Pool. It's a county park. It's definitely a natural wonder. It's an amazing place, and we're very lucky to be here. We had to put a lot of environmental concerns at the forefront to be able to work in such a sensitive area, and we were very lucky to have the county cooperating with us and letting us be here to film.
The problem is we scouted this location about 2 months ago, and there was no waterfall. That's the first part of the problem. The second part of the problem was it was much warmer. So suddenly, a scene that was meant to go from a very angry place to almost an intimate place has been ruined because we have, though gorgeous, but completely impractical waterfall. My actors are freezing. The sound department hates my guts because we can't hear anything. I put my DP in the water as well, so he's not very happy with me right now either. This is a tough day. I'm so proud of them. That water is so cold. Nobody would want to be there. People talk about the glamorous Hollywood life of actors.
There you go. The water is cold. My understanding is Texas is actually in the south, but I guess not. But the air temperature is much colder, so it's good. I feel like I'm earning my stripes, you know?
Central Texas has so many weird rock formations, and Texas in general does too. I mean, you go to Big Bend and it's like, whoa, what is this? And I really feel like if you're creative and you can match it and then create things on a stage that go along with the same thing, then you have the makings of pretty much being able to shoot anything here.